Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. In this video we're going to do a complete overview of this TRX6 build. We're going to look at absolutely everything. We'll talk about battery placements, we'll talk about wheelbase, we'll talk about shocks, suspensions, links, absolutely everything we will try to cover in this video. Before we begin, I'm going to insert a few clips of this truck at work, just so we can get a sense of how it performs in its current configuration. I think it's a good performer, but you let me know what you think in the comments. This truck started out as a regular TRX6. Definitely looks a little bit different now. It no longer has a big Traxxas body. It no longer houses the battery here as it typically would. It'd be somewhere here. And it is made to fit big tires. These are 5.4 Super Swampers on 2.2-inch wheels. And you can tell there's plenty of space between the tires here, whereas in the stock TRX6, these tires wouldn't even fit. And we will definitely cover the wheelbase and how I made these tires fit and everything else, but let's just start with what we see. And the first thing we're going to talk about is obviously going to be the cab. And here's the cab. It's just your regular JConcepts creep cab. Plenty of these out there, so it's nothing fancy. It works well, it fits great. And off the hop, I'm just going to tell you that I cut the fenders here a little bit and here a little bit. But outside of that, it is what it is. On the inside, it's plenty covered with shoe glue and cement board tape. I used to use drywall tape, but then I discovered cement board tape, which is actually it's rubber, made out of rubber. It stretches, it pulls, it bends. So this body on the inside is covered with cement board tape and black automotive shoe glue. Let me see if I have any cement tape to show you guys. It's the regular drywall tape. Like, I still have it, but ever since I've discovered this, I haven't used drywall tape. And this is called cement board tape. So it's the same purpose as the drywall tape, but for cement boards. And see, it's very sturdy, and it's very, very rubbery. And adhesion in this, like the initial adhesion, is way more superior on this than the drywall tape. So I switched to this and I've never looked back. Highly recommend it. Then that's what this body is covered with, and if it wasn't, it'd probably fall apart a really long time ago, because it did take a ton of tumbles and rolls and falls and all sorts of abuse. You can even see Well, you can't really tell, but I used the cement tape on the outside as well. Just paint it with a black paint marker afterwards, and you can't even tell. Well, you you can't tell, but it works really, really well to keep this body together. Now let's talk about the fitment of this body, and the way it comes off is lift and back. And how does it attach to the truck? So I used the Traxxas body mount here. Let me show you here. And I attached it to the top of the transmission. And this is the rear body clip, it locks into here. And in the front, these are just regular Traxxas body posts, nothing fancy here. So this post here just goes into this opening, and that's it. Bam, and it's on. There's a body clip here. You can pop it in, and now it's locked in. It's going nowhere. It's really good. Really effective design, if I say so myself. And here we just have these two guys. Obviously, pop the clips in, and that's it. We're done. I used to have another clip at the back, another body post. I used to have the same body post back here, but it was not necessary. The three work really fine. So you have one at the back and two here. There, I took the phone off the stand just to show you where the body comes out to in the front. So this is the stock Traxxas bumper mount. And this is where the body sits. It sits right on top of this bumper mount. So it creates a really, really, really good approach angle, as you can see from here. The approach angle in this truck is amazing. With tires this size, 5.4-inch tire, 99% of the time, your tire is hitting the obstacle before the bumper mount or the body. 99% of the time, the tire here gets the obstacle, no problem. I also made these pieces out of Kydex on both sides, which really help to lock this body in. It almost uses, almost indexes this body into this position, like it cannot go anywhere. And I'll show you like what I did here and what I used for the boards here. We'll cover all of that. So these pieces right here, this side and this side, I made out of Kydex and just screwed them on from underneath. And I like Kydex because you can heat it, bend it, cut it. Basically, you can make a lot of stuff out of it, and it's super durable. So these been on here for a couple summers, and they're taking a lot of hits, and they're still here, and they're still just the same way I made them. I know it looks a bit not perfect, but wasn't going for perfection, was going for durability and functionality, and they're definitely durable and definitely very functional. And you can get Kydex on Amazon. That's where I got it from. Doesn't need to be anything super thick. I think the one I have is maybe 1 millimeter thick or 1.5, I think. But you don't need anything thicker than 2 millimeters for sure. What else is down here? So you can see this piece is factory, but I actually cut it down to the contour of the creep body. So let me flip it back. These are Traxxas boards, but they look really skinny because I cut a good chunk of them off. And now let me just grab this body here. I'll show you up close. Get the clip in. See, boom, it just clips right in over here. See, I just cut it to the corner of this body so it doesn't stick out, but it still provides really good solid protection. Yeah, and I just attached this Kydex piece, and now this body doesn't want to slide left or right. Like, it just cannot slide. It sits there perfectly. But yeah, these are Traxxas board. I just cut them, just made them skinnier so they fit perfectly, you know, underneath the body, so they don't stick out or anything like that. As you can see, it looks pretty good, I think. And before we move forward, I just want to show you one last time a close-up of the rear body mount. This is it. There used to be another one on this side. I ended up taking it out, and this works really well. It's basically mounted like this plate is screwed onto the top of the transmission, like underneath the Velcro, there are screws, and this body mount is screwed onto the plate. And this Velcro is from the receiver. But yeah, it's a nice closer look so you can get the idea. Maybe you want to do the same, maybe get something similar, but hopefully this gives you some ideas on what you could do. Now we can cover the rest of the exterior. So you see a lot of TRX6s that are running a cab, and they look very bare at the back. I did not want it to look super bare. Like, I wanted to put something there. So I got some pieces of carbon fiber on Amazon. And all I did was just cut them to the outline of the frame. And I just literally screwed them into the frame, like you can see. There's a screw here. There's a screw here. Here. And here. So these are two separate pieces, obviously. What I did was I basically made a template out of paper, and then I just traced it onto these sheets of carbon fiber and just cut them out, and that was actually easier than I thought it would be, to be honest with you. Got it on Amazon. I think it's 1 millimeter, maybe less. I honestly don't remember, but you don't need anything thick or heavy here. Like, if you just want to cover the chassis so it doesn't look so bare, this worked perfectly. I ended up putting an accessory back here because I kept this stock body brace right here. And the reason why I did that, I just flipped the truck. I'll show you why I kept it. Is because of the very tall link mount, this guy here, in the rear axle. So when it compresses, right, it goes up and above beyond the chassis. And this is why this piece is convex. I'm not sure, but it creates a space for the rear link mount. And I didn't want just a body brace there, so I attached this accessory. Looks all right, man. Looks all right that way. Now let's quickly talk about the shocks and shock mounts. So in the rear, I use these cheapo Amazon TRX4 shock mounts. They worked really well for here. In the front, I used these plastic. So these literally are just stock front shock mounts from the Sport. That's all it is here. There's nothing fancy here. And these guys, I got them from Amazon. So that's the shock mount. Okay. Stock shock mount, or Traxxas shock mount. Cheapo Amazon shock mounts. Now let's talk about the shocks themselves. They're all Traxxas shocks, with exception in the front. I'm using the orange lossy spring, but the shock itself is a regular TRX6 shock. In the back, I'm using the softest spring rate in the middle. Whatever the softest TRX4 or TRX6 spring rate is, this is it. And in the back, I'm using one of the stiffest spring rates I have for the rear with a lot of preload. And I think I use 30 oil in all of them, maybe. I don't really stress about the shock oil too much. I'm not even an expert. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about shock oil. So I just put in stock. I think that's what Traxxas puts into these, 30 weight, and that's all I did. I play more with spring rates, I guess, and preloading. And while we talk about suspension, I feel like there's this one thing that's absolutely worth mentioning. It's the Panhard mount. So both of the Panhard mounts are metal. On the axle side, it's brass, I think this one is. And I've screwed it into the axle, and I've also used super glue or epoxy. Like, this Panhard mount is not coming out of this axle. Reason I did that is because I've torn out multiple axle side Panhard mounts, and I just decided to make it as strong and as stiff as possible. I don't want it to bend, or I don't want the threads to come out. Like, it's glued in there good. So if I ever decide to detach this Panhard mount from this axle, I'll probably just have to burn the axle off. And on the chassis side, it's also metal. You can see it right here. And you can get this on Amazon, AliExpress, Jora. See, this guy here is also metal, because I've broken a lot of plastic ones. I've even broken some of the cheaper metal or aluminum Panhard mount that goes in here. And I found that this piece works extremely well. See, oh, one sec. It's mounted here and here, and it hasn't given me any problems. I really enjoy these. I put these on all of my TRX4 TRX6s. All of them have the same Panhard mount set up. Both of the Panhard mounts are metal. Okay, let's cover the electronics real quick. I'm just gonna flip it for 1 second. And for the motor, you see we have Fusion Pro 2300 kV. The steering servo is a Reefs 777 direct power. So you can see the 777. Okay, the shift servo. So the very rear axle still has a locker in it. Kind of helps with turning radius a little bit. So there's the shift servo for that. It's a TR4 servo. And it is still a 2-speed transmission. Also a TR4 servo here. Now, in terms of the radio, the receiver box, well, the receiver is inside of this box, and it's just Velcroed for easy removal at the top of the transmission, because I do put this truck in the water like all the time. So I'm trying to keep the receiver up, not because I'm worried about it getting wet. Like, I know it's not going to get wet. It's super duper waterproof. Yeah, the receiver sits high because, as we know, water kills the radio signal. So I drive into deep water, and I just want to be sure the antenna, at least the tip of it, is not too far underneath the water. One more thing to mention is, when I knew I wasn't going to use the stock TRX6 body, I cut the frame off about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. So you can see the departure angle is very, very, very good. And also, like, backing up with this truck is also amazing. Like, the wheels just go over whatever's back here, no problem. Like nothing else gets in the way. Yeah, I chopped the back off, I think almost 2 inches. Yeah. One thing about this truck is it's very light for what it is and for how big it is. And let's have a look underneath, and I will just show you everything here. So the only weights I have are inner and outer portal covers in the front. There's one here, and there's one on this side. There's this aluminum diff cover, but it's really, for looks, it's not really that heavy at all. But yeah, this is the only weights I have. It's here and here. Everything else is plastic. Stock plastic drive shaft here, here, here. No brass, no brass. Plastic axles, plastic axle, plastic axle. You don't really need a lot of weight, I guess, especially not in a truck like this to make it work. So I try to keep it as light as possible, and hence large majority of it is, just still stock plastic parts. Just quickly throwing the truck on a scale just to see what it weighs fully loaded with the cab and the wheels. And it's just 10.3 pounds.